Okay, guys, today we are walking through my top secret retirement calculator, looking at the expenses, looking at the retirement calculator, all with the asset that's going to be backing it, which will be QQQI. That's the asset we will invest in for this model, okay? This calculator will also be available to paid members of my Patreon, so if you want to pick it up, please jump over to my Patreon. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, guys, today as I said, we are going to focus on how to build a retirement plan. And with every retirement plan, the first thing we need to look at is our expected expenses. Our expected expenses during retirement, or our expected expenses, our current burn rate that we're working with right now. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is build out your expected budget per month. And this is generally going to be looking at the base categories. If there are any outlier categories, we can discuss those separately and have a fund for those. But for this, it's going to be your base cost throughout the month. Okay. So you'll put down your housing costs. So I've simulated this. So our housing costs, our utilities, our insurance are 3,000, our transportation, car payment, gas, transport, 750 a month, food going out, 1,000 a month. And maybe you have more, maybe you have less, health related stuff, 150. Personal, like clothing, hobby, subscriptions, fund money, $250 a month. And maybe you have it, maybe yours is a little higher at 450, right? And then home goods and miscellaneous 250. So our monthly total with this plan and with this structure is 5,600 a month for an annual total of $67,000 a year. Okay, so that is your base expectation, and that's like your today's expenses, right? And so, maybe your expenses will rise as it relates to inflation, or things will change in the future. So we can simulate that as part of what we'll do next. But also, I just wanted to say that I do run a Patreon. I have adjusted the membership plans. Literally, I brought them down to $5 a month, $5 a month, and with that, you'll get coaching access, where I'll do like a 20-minute bite-sized session with you on like looking at your budget, looking at your financial plan, looking at your portfolio, and just giving you monthly coaching effectively. You're gonna get access to the tools and the templates, like even the calculator we'll walk through today. You'll get access to that, and you'll also get access to private content that I'll post on the Patreon. So if you're open to jumping on board, we would love to have you in this community and in the Patreon. So please head over to the Patreon and jump in and sign up. You can cancel at any time, but I'm really hoping that a simple $5 a month will give you great value. Okay. So now that we have our expenses nailed down and aligned, the next piece we're going to now do is go into our retirement calculator, okay? And we want to make a couple assumptions. We want to look at our current age, and let's say we're 34, and let's say we want to retire, let's say at 50 years old, okay? Let's say we're going to retire at 50 years old. So we added 50, and then we look at our current savings. Let's say we had 500K. Let's say we had 600K in current savings. That's 6 million, that's too much. 600K. And every year we'll contribute 35K. And again, you can play with these numbers based on your situation and your structure and your goals. Okay. Now we're going to look at the rate of return pre-retirement, right? And we talked about QQQI, how that is averaging about 14% a year. But maybe some years it's not going to do 14%. Maybe some years it'll come down to 10% or 9%. So to be on the safer side, I will say that our rate of return pre-retirement will be 10%. Now, this can change and we can have a stronger rate of return and things can change. But for us in this example, let's go with a 10% rate of return. Things will vary. Okay. And because, we're going to be retiring not at today's age of 34, let's just say you're 34 today, we're going to be retiring in some time. So we knew our expenses before was 67,000, but, we assume that with inflation and with things going on and with life, you're probably going to end up spending much more, considerably more, during, when you're looking to retire, especially if it's going to be 15 years from today. So let's say you want to retire with $80,000 in terms of expenses. You want $80,000 to live on for your retirement. Okay. Okay, and this optional stuff, don't even worry about it. So now we can look at the scenario, the results as it relates to the setup that we put in. So age 34, we're age 34, our account value is 600K. We have a 60K interest or rate of return earned that this first year because we've assumed a 10% interest rate or 10% appreciation or 10% dividend as it relates to QQQI, right? Then we're also going to contribute 35K per year. We're not going to be withdrawing anything. Okay. So you're going to see the next year we've grown to the portfolio to 700K. Then with the compounding effect of that 10% in year 35 in 2026, you're going to see 70K in interest earned, and we're also going to contribute 35K. Now you're going to see the continual impact of the compound effect, right? So we went from 600K in 2025 to almost 800K in 2027. Okay. That's a 200K jump in just 2 years. It's phenomenal. And this is due to compound interest and your annual, you're consistently contributing every single year. Okay. So this is going to keep on happening. This is going to keep on happening, right? You're going to keep on compounding, keep on compounding. And remember, you said you wanted to retire at 50. All right. So by 50 years old, with the compound interest happening, and remember, you just started with 600K, you've been contributing 35K every year. By retirement at 50, you would have had $4 million saved up and ready to go for your retirement. The appreciation you'll earn at retirement, 300K a year at this point, 300K. And at retirement, we've also assumed that your rate of return would drop down because maybe you're focusing on much, much more higher income solutions, a much more stable, secure solutions, less high risk. So we're going to remove our rate of return actually down to like, let's call it 7% just to be safe. Okay. And we're also going to see a inflation rate of 2% during retirement in terms of our income that we'll be paying ourselves. So we're going to inflate our income every single year by 2%. If you want to adjust it to 3%, 4%, because I know inflation is going crazy now, feel free to do so. And we'll do 2% for now. Okay. So at this stage, at retirement, okay, you'll have $4 million, okay, with, like I said, 275K to 300K worth of income appreciation coming in. This is interest earned, but it can be in the form of appreciation, capital appreciation, or in the form of income, just depending on the asset. With QQQI, this will be in the form of income, right? So you'll see this in the form of income coming to you annually, and you can decide how much you want to use in terms of spending with it, and then how much you want to reinvest. Because we're only spending 80K a year, you're only going to be withdrawing 2% annually. And they say that, with any investment portfolio, when it comes to retirement, the healthy rule is the 4% rule. So you are well above the 2%, sorry, well below that 4% rule. You're at 2%, man, which is phenomenal. And with this simulation, of course, it is a simulation. Use it at your own risk. But with this simulation, with that 4 mil at 50K, that 4 mil at 50 years old, not 50K, what am I talking about? At 50 years old, you will effectively never run out of money. You can see by 60, we're withdrawing and we're still appreciating. We're up to 6 million by 60, right? Now, this is one simulation. Now, if you want to have a higher rate of income during retirement, these things will change. But even at 120K, even at 120K payout for the year, you will still never run out of money. You're at the 3% withdrawal rate at 50 years old. You're at 4 million still here. And you're going to keep on appreciating. And because your appreciation is so strong, still at 7%, your withdrawal rate continues to be reduced, even as you're increasing your income withdrawals. So it's the power of compound interest, and it's the power of having discipline right now to saving, a minimum 600K here and letting it ride and contributing. And really you'll see the impacts of this. Now, can you even adjust your target retirement age? Can we go like 45? Well, look, at 45, we'll have 2 million, and withdrawal rate is going to be a little higher than we want it to be. But, I mean, you're pretty much not going to lose out on money until 97, right? So there's a point where like eventually you're going to be paying yourself out too much and you can adjust that. But 97, God bless if we're all still alive at 97. I hope to be. But you can of course adjust to get down below the 4%, right? So maybe this is a little too aggressive. If we want to have 120K a year, maybe we need to target 48, right? And at 48, you're never running out of money. Effectively never until 121. You still have, $1 billion or whatever the case may be. So this is the power of compound interest, right? I'm going to go ahead and throw this calculator in my Patreon, like I said. If you're with me, if you're engaged in this channel, then you should definitely join the Patreon. I will have this calculator up here so you can download it. It'll be for paid members. Okay. And again, we can also do a session where we can walk you through this calculator. We can walk you through how to set it up and to build out your retirement plan utilizing QQQI and a lot of the other NEOS covered call ETFs, and then building it into this plan. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is become financially free and utilizing math and utilizing calculators and a sound investment plan to get there. Okay, guys, when do you want to retire? Let me know in the comments down below what age you're looking to retire in. And if this video was helpful, also let me know. As I mentioned, we're running the Patreon. So if you want this calculator, go over to the Patreon. Outside of that, guys, all the best and cheers.